either suffer or die, dearly beloved sisters. This deep sigh of Saint Teresa of Avila find a place in our thoughts and reflections during these preparation days for her feast day. In Saint Teresa of Avila, we have a saint who longed to take up suffering to quench the thirst of her beloved, the crucified Jesus. She believed as a faithful bride, it is her privilege to get a rightful share in the suffering of her bridegroom and alleviate his pain. She encourages her daughters to embrace the cross that come on their way and gain souls for the Lord and obtain strength from Him. Born in a traditional Christian aristocratic family, Teresa was fortunate to have a strong foundation in Christian faith and the doctrines of the Church. Inspired by her mother, she got an opportunity to learn the life and teachings of many saints at an early age itself. Young Teresa was often found immersed in deep thoughts, and her conversation lingered around the worthlessness of material possessions and the worldly passions and her aspirations for eternity. Her quest for eternity forced her to leave her home as a child and to seek martyrdom as an easy way to reach heaven, her eternal abode. Though as a child, Teresa was moved by hopes of heaven and destined for greatness. As an adolescent, she was swayed away by the charming attractions of worldly pleasures. Her powerful grasping, quickness in decision making, and to execute them made her a heroine of her contemporaries. The Lord did not abandon His beloved. He had a unique purpose for her life. Through the instrumentality of her father Alonso, he transplanted this teenage daughter to the Augustinian monastery. This was a turning point in her life. The experience she gained here made her to take the initial step to join the Carmelite monastery, the Incarnation Convent at Avila. As we know, nuns in the Incarnation were very much relaxed from their austerity and enthusiasm in the 16th century Spain. The parlor at the Incarnation Avila was a sort of social center, and visitors of all kinds were received there. Teresa spent much of her time in the parlor conversing with seculars and began to neglect her mental prayer. Cautioned by her spiritual father of her dangerous state, she returned to the practice of mental prayer and never again abandoned it. This was an awakening in her life. Inspired by the conversion of the two great penitents, Saint Augustine and Saint Mary Magdalene, she became more and more aware of her unworthiness. Though she repeatedly frustrated God's work in her life, His mercy was finally victorious over her own sorry state. When, in the end, she surrendered totally to His grace, God began His admirable and more immediate work in her soul. Her spiritual exaltation. The Passion of Christ was the main topic of her meditation This took her to perfect union with God. For our saint, prayer is a friendly meeting with God in which God is the instigator and takes up a chief role, and He speaks to the soul. Total self-surrender and a strong determination to follow Jesus are the essential conditions required to attain this state of mind. Saint Teresa says that the Lord is a friend of courageous souls. Courage and determination do not go without recompense. The little spark He instilled in her soul thus enkindled into a large fire. The Lord purified her, flooded her with grace, allowed her to perceive His divine presence, listen to His voice, and to penetrate the mysterious abyss of His Trinitarian life. She had ecstasies, visions, locutions from God, infused love, new wisdom, and a foretaste of beatific life. The practical result of this outpouring of divine grace is the fruitfulness of her life of service. Saint Teresa became an illustrious reformer. Through the foundation of St. Joseph's Convent at Avila, she inaugurated a new, more contemplative lifestyle that stressed divine intimacy with strict enclosure, silence and solitude, most austere poverty, discussed, and was bound to perpetual abstinence. More than a dozen and a half convents for the nuns and an equal number of monasteries for men religious was founded by her in collaboration with Saint John of the Cross. She was also strict in selection of candidates. For them, she preferred intelligence coupled with piety. She often says, "May God preserve us from stupid nuns." As a saint, she is unique and will ever remain undefined. A common mold could not contain her. Her constant companionship with the Lord, ardent desire and readiness to risk herself to her beloved and for the church, brought her to the zenith of sanctity, gave her the crown of divinity, transformed her to a mystic, made her a doctor of the church and a great saint of the 16th century. Let us imbibe a spirit of self-surrender, intimacy with the triune God, fidelity to her commitment, and above all, her ardent desire to suffer and die to gain souls for the crucified Lord. May this heroic mother, Saint Teresa of Avila, guide our steps to reach our goal, the eternity. Wish you all a very happy feast and a fruitful celebration of the day. Thank you. May God bless all of us.
We have come to you, dear Saint Teresa, to take your blessings for life. Let your spirit